Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawn Chair Mechanic. I'm slowly getting this 235 put together. I bought brand new spark plugs for it, put a new fuel pump on it, and today I got my new distributor. So we're going to try to put that on there, and I'm going to show you how that's done. It's a pretty nice distributor. I got it from CRT Performance online, and looks pretty nice. Comes with the coil, the spark plug wires, distributor, the wiring harness, everything you need to wire it right up. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the first things you have to do to get the engine ready for the distributor. First off, I'll show you what I've done so far. I got this brand new fuel pump I put on there the other day. I got it from Speedway Motors online. And the only thing that I kind of messed up on is the inlet. Let me get this stuff out of the way. The inlet and the outlet are the wrong sizes for my fuel line. But I was wanting to get new fuel lines anyway, so this is a 1/8 NPT female fitting. So I'm gonna have to get fuel lines to go from here up to the carburetor, then the inlet all the way back to the fuel tank. So I was wanting to get all new fuel lines anyway, so no big deal there. And the second thing, I got all my new spark plugs put in. And got the intake and exhaust manifold put back on with the carburetor. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get a new carburetor. This one don't look too healthy, but eventually I'd like to get a dual intake for two carburetors, put two carburetors on it, but right now I just want to get this thing running. I've got the oil filter put on the other day and the lines run. It's starting to shape up, and today we're going to put this distributor on. So the first thing that I did is I ran a bolt into the pulley in the front. That way I can turn the motor real easy. Got me a long-handled ratchet on it. And if you look back at your bell housing, there's a pointer in there, that little hole back here. If you can see that back there. I put some white paint on it so you can see it. And as you turn the engine, you want to take your valve cover off and watch the number 1 cylinder. This is the number 1, closest to the front of the engine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want to watch this number 1 cylinder. That's the one closest to the front of the engine. The firing order on a 235 is 153624. So the number 1 cylinder is the first to fire. 1, 5, 6, 3, 2, and 4. So what you want to do is you want to watch this number 1 cylinder. This is the exhaust valve, and this is the intake. When that intake closes, then comes back up. And right when it stops, that should be top dead center. And you should be close back in your hole there. The hole back by the bell housing. There's a little ball bearing pressed into the flywheel back there. You want to line up with that ball bearing with that pointer. So I'll turn the engine and hopefully you'll be able to see it a lot better. I went ahead and painted the ball bearing white too, so when we actually go to do the timing on this thing, you can be able to see it a lot better. So, okay, if you watch that pointer back in that hole, I'll spin this engine a little bit. You see the flywheel moving. There went the ball bearing past there. But I'm still not at top dead center because this intake valve has not moved yet on the number 1 cylinder. Okay, my exhaust valve is now going down on number 1. Coming back up. Now the intake is going down. Now it's making its way back up, so that ball bearing should be coming. There it went. Let me back it up just a touch. Here's the ball bearing. Just got to play with your engine a little bit to get it on. So right there is just a little bit past the pointer. So we should be pretty close to having the number 1 cylinder at top dead center. So now you're ready to put the distributor into the engine. Right there's your intake valve right here on your number 1 cylinder. It's the second one from the front. This exhaust, this is the intake. It's at top dead center, or close to it. So now what you want to do, go over here, get a flashlight, shine it down into the hole. I don't know if we can see this. There's a groove down there in the bottom. That distributor fits inside that groove. And on the side, I don't know if you can see the gears in there. Just barely see them in there. The distributor will fit into that gear. You want to make sure when you put the distributor in that it seats all the way down in there. And there's a bolt here that bolts it down. So let's get the distributor, take a look at it. Okay, if you look close at this, right there's the key part that fits into that groove. And here's your gear that lines up with the gear inside the hole. Comes with the wiring harness, the directions on how to wire it up. This is a small cap distributor because the 235 don't give you much clearance for a large cap distributor. So this small cap distributor makes it a lot better than my distributor on there. It gives you more clearance, and it looks like it's built pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and see if we can get that in a hole and see what happens. Okay. There's a gasket that slides onto your shaft here. You want to put that on before you put it down to the hole. What we did, well, there's my flashlight.
When the stars line up and you catch a good break, people think you're lucky, but you know it's grace. It can happen so fast or a little bit late, and timing is everything. You know I've had close calls when it could have been me. I was young when I learned just how fragile life can be. I lost friends of mine, I guess it wasn't my time.
Okay, I finally got it down in there. It took a little bit of trial and error, just wiggling it back and forth and getting it in the right position. But as you can see, I got the rotor pointing towards the #1 spark plug. So this cap only goes on one way. So once you put the cap on, just notice how, put this back on here. This is the one that's #1. So when you go to put your spark plug wires on, some of them are shorter than the other ones. So #1, which is that one. We'll go to #1 spark plug. So if you remember the firing order of this, firing order is 153-624. So 1, the next one, 5. Next one is 3. Next one is 6. Put this lower one on there, I think. And the next one is 2 on here. Put this 6, 2, and 4 is your last one, which will go right here. There's your spark plug wires. We'll straighten them up there later, but I just wanted to give you an idea how it goes. You 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. Let's go around, or clockwise, I mean. And the middle one, we all know will go to the coral. Okay, I got the coral mounted on the side of the engine and wired up. I got the spark plug wires straightened up a little bit, and I zip tied them just to keep them in place. Makes it look a lot neater. Anyway, the distributor came with a harness, wiring harness. Comes right out of the bottom of the distributor here. And go straight up to the positive and negative on the coil. Then your black wire coming out will go to your engine ground. You hook that to the ground somewhere. Then you have a gray wire coming from the distributor that plugs in here, and it'll go to your tachometer whenever I get the body mounted back on here, but I'm not really worried about that right now. And the ground, I can hook it up. We got the distributor mounted, so that was the main thing today, and looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a well-built distributor. I'm very pleased with it, and we're going to have to get some fuel lines, and I got the valve cover back on, so we're going to need some fuel lines, get this fuel pump piped in to the carburetor, then have to get enough to go back all the way to the back of the frame to the fuel tank whenever I get it mounted on here. So my next purchase is probably an alternator, which will mount down here on the side. But it's coming along. It's looking like an engine now, getting all these parts put back on there, and brand new parts for it. It's starting to shape up. I'm really pleased with the outcome so far. I welcome any comments if you have any comments of what you think. But I did find some fuel lines online. They're actually flexible hose. It's not actual hard fuel line. So that might be the ticket. It's supposed to be for like high pressure fuel, and they use it on race cars. So maybe that might be the way to go on this thing. That way I don't have to get a flare tool and flare my own tubing and everything. Just get flexible hose that'll fit from the fuel pump to the carburetor and from the fuel pump back to the tank. So I might be looking into that. I'll have to get a new fuel filter and everything, and more than likely a new carburetor. But we'll have to check on that. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate any comments that you might have. Tune in next time, and maybe I'll have an alternator and a starter by then. Have a good day, everybody, and please subscribe, and a Happy New Year. Thank you.